Hello.
Hello.
Guys, do you believe in magic?
Yes.
Good. Because I met somebody the other day who actually believes in fairies. Do you believe in fairies?
I used to.
Yes.
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 I am a fairy.
That's true. Oh, of course. I'd forgotten that.
Yes.
Well, this friend actually, I know that you have to be, normally you're about 10. She's actually 48 and she still believes in fairies. But anyway, I believe in magic, but maybe the fairy thing has flown out of the window. But today, we have the most wonderful guest, and it's the most incredible psychic healer. I can't think what else to say. Psychic and healer, June
But
Field.
most of all, the most wonderful person.
And friend.
And friend. And she gave me 25 quid to say that. So I hope.
Absolutely. She gave me a less than that. June Field. Come in.
Hello.
Hey,
June, how
Good
are you?
morning. I'm very well. How are you guys doing?
Very
Really
good.
good.
Well,
So
you know what, June? Strangely enough, Natalie and I have been to a place where we've had a hyperbaric.
Right. How did you get on? Great.
We didn't go in it. That was the only. Did you go
No,
in
we
it,
just
Nat?
looked at it. I would love to go in it though. And Debbie says you do it.
I do it twice a week, every week, twice a week. And there are other people. It's in a big tank. And there are 8 people in there with me. And we breathe in for an hour.
So there are. This is a little pod by itself that you sit up in. It looks like a. It looks like that you're on a plane, actually, doesn't it, Natalie? And it's just got a pod round it. It's amazing. So you go in with loads of other people, like a sauna, like a steam bath or something.
Isn't it? Well, it's mine is actually metal. Yours would be a little bit like hard shell, and mine can go to depths probably round about 32 feet under, and so therefore I go in there so that the body regenerates itself and oxygen heals you. It's a healing. There's a lot of MS people go in there. I don't suffer from MS, but it does help a lot of conditions, and I go in there twice a week.
Well, with 10 other people?
8. There's 8 of us all together, and you get to know them. And so I know the girls, and we've been on afternoon teas and things because you chat away to them in there.
What does it feel like? Does it feel, can you smell it, feel it? What does it feel like?
Well, it hurts your ears a little bit at the start until you get to depth. You've got to keep popping your ears, a bit like being in an airplane, taking off. And then when you're down there, you just breathe in the oxygen, and it does actually make you feel a little bit elated because you're getting pure oxygen, because when you breathe, your body only takes in 20 to 30% of oxygen when you breathe in your lungs, but this oxygenates your body by 100%. Think about it, that if you were ill and you went into hospital, what's the first thing they give you?
Oxygen.
Yeah. So it's really good for you, and it's good for clarity. There's a friend of mine that goes in the chamber. She does the cold therapy, and she has one of these ice baths at her house, and she goes in that for about 40 minutes every single day.
Oh, 40
Wonderful.
minutes in an ice bath.
No, thank you.
Ooh, this is 2.5 minutes in an ice thing. That was it. That's all we could do. That's all you're allowed to do.
About 40 minutes. She's just great. And she does intermittent fasting, and she does things like she gets to autophagy, which means that you don't eat for 72 hours, and she looks fabulous. It's good for her MS. So that's what they're doing. It's good.
The lady who owns this place actually in Weybridge, she was diagnosed with MS 6 years ago, but she's turned everything around, and she runs this amazing place. And a lot of sports people go there, footballers, etc. So we're going to go, but when you come down, June.
Gosh, okay, right, that's good. So we'll fly. We'll fly in the tank. Good.
Definitely.
Good.
So
June,
what's been going on with you, June?
Well, I've just been working away. I'm getting a lot of work done in my house, which is totally, that's why I need to go in the tank for oxygen, because it's just killing me, all this work. I hate this mess that's going on, but I'm just working away. I'm busy doing stuff, to do with spirits, trying to teach people how to be connected to their own loved ones in their own way. Because when people come to me for readings, I think they're under the misconception that all other people are sitting with me waiting. No, you bring them in. And so it's just a matter of tuning in and picking up your own people and your own loved ones. You know that, but you're sensitive nature.
I know. I've always known that. I've always thought, I wonder why people think that, they're only to meet up with their loved ones when a psychic is there, because I've always known that. But last night, okay, I'm going to ask you about a weird dream I had last night.
Great.
So last night I dreamt that I was awake, which of course I wasn't because I was asleep. Okay, and there was I was lying by a tree that kept growing, and it was all lit up. And then I woke up. And I thought, this is a very significant dream, but what the hell does that mean?
Well, what do you think? It's all about growth, isn't it? It's about, doesn't matter what you do in life, you're always growing. You're learning, you're growing, irrespective of what you go through, whether it be something good, something bad, you learn from everything. Everything's banked and you gain from it. So I think what it probably meant that you're either impatient in some way about something and that it's not happening quick enough. And so therefore, they're just letting you see that irrespective of whether you're having these little transition periods of you're stagnant for a little bit, you're still growing.
As long as it's not in size, I don't mind.
No, not that way. Maybe that way.
Yeah, a little bit of height wouldn't do me any harm. Yeah.
So June, when I did your course last year, it was like, you taught me to sort of, with all the other people there who were actually all mediums, really, and I was the only one that wasn't. But by the end of it, as I said before, I was tuning into people and could hear people, and I can still do that when I imagine it. I can go back to that moment when you helped us with that, and I know what you mean. But I didn't realize that what you just said is that so a medium will actually just motivate what you've already got in terms of the people. So you bring the people in and you connect with them. Is that right?
Well, the people are already around you. If you were to come to see me for a reading or do a reading through Zoom, I connect with you. And the minute I'm plugged into your energy, then I become aware of who's around you, what's around you, what you feel like character-wise. What I try to do at workshops with people is I try to get them to find their key to open their own door, to tune in. It's a matter of tuning into your channel, and everyone tunes in a different way. Lots of things, people resonate with many different things. Like if I like to listen to trains, you might think, oh my God, I can't listen to trains. I like running water. So you find something that resonates with you as an individual, and that helps you calm the mind and then be aware of it. And once you've found your key, like you, Dee, you'll never lose it.
My mum and her aunt, she lived in a household full of her mother and 4 sisters, and they were all very psychic. My mum was just very, very much, and I've always hoped that I would inherit it, and I don't know that I have, except that when, just occasionally something will come up and I'll just know she's there. But I don't know, I've never developed it, and but maybe because I've been a bit afraid of it. But
well, I think you'll only be afraid of it because you don't understand it. People get afraid of something because they see it working and they think, I don't know how that works. How does that work? Don't bring it anywhere near me. But I feel that your mum would have been somebody who would have been very up and down in her mood, a bit volatile in her mood. Did she suffer from depression a little bit?
yes.
But
Yes,
to me,
which I only kind of worked out at the end of her life.
Yeah,
Yes,
bipolar and up and down. And I think that was to do with the sensitivity that she had, that she was able to pick things up, and it made her feel a bit down. And so you tried to be really jolly and positive all the time, and I think that you've gained that skill because you always felt as if you were lifting your mum up a little bit at times.
you're 100% right. But she also did something that you would not approve of at all. I would come home from school and she'd be sitting there,
Yeah,
this polished table to read you. Yeah. It wasn't a Ouija board. She'd had the Scrabble letters laid out, and she'd be sitting there, and this glass would be moving around. It was totally normal to me, and I'd sit there and sometimes chat along to whoever she was talking to, and then I'd off. But it was normal. It was normal in my house. But I know that you say that can be problematic, and it's not necessarily a good thing. You're letting the wrong things in.
It's actually a gateway. And when you use a Ouija board or you do something like that, you're opening a door and you're going, oh, is there anybody there? Come in and let me see. And 9 times out of 10, you'll get somebody that's good-natured, but you might not. And once you get them in, it's very difficult to get them out. So I wouldn't actually advise that unless you're in total control of it, or it's a medium that's hosting it, and that you could just, for an experience, to let you see how it works. But I wouldn't advise that. So people watching, don't be doing that. You don't be doing any of that stuff. But your mum, I do feel that she was, people would drop her problems in her lap. And she could be very sociable at times, but then other times she would just want to step back and not interact with people. She was very volatile, very sensitive nature. That's actually hit you, Natalie. You're very sensitive natured and a bit volatile up and down, but you've got that under great control. And I think that's a lot to do with your acting. I think that your acting career has given you such a bit of discipline.
I have no discipline at all, but I think you're right. I think sometimes you feel that you need to protect your parent because of something like so that of course does end up reflecting on how you are with the world. I think you're absolutely right, June.
I see, Caddy, you are nodding here.
Yeah, I think it's fascinating what you're saying about Natalie, because incredibly cheerful, always up, always that person. So I would never have guessed that was all in your background. But no, my main thing, I agree with Natalie that I'd be afraid of developing anything like that. I mean, there are psychic things in my family, but I'm quite happy to step back and have a quiet life. I would never touch a Ouija board. No. And I'm just quite happy. I think there's enough in life that's difficult.
But you're actually very different. You're very different from people. You've got the most incredible knack that when you meet someone, you actually take a little bit of a back step in your head and you're getting the measure of them. You do that with everyone.
I kidnapped her when I met her. I did.
You did?
I did. She saw me at the station. I said, no, you're not. You're going with me.
We're thrilled.
Pushed her into Wonderbirds because I was so enamoured with her.
In awe of her. I am completely.
But you do have a sensitivity, Caddy. You do have a sensitivity that you're very perceptive. You can tell what's good, what's bad, what's not so good, and you've got it to a fine art.
But how can you tell that? Yeah.
I can tell it with just listening to your voice and being in your energy. I just know you can tell. You're very good at characters. You can tell whether somebody's of good character and not of good character. You're very much switched on. And you'll have that smile and you'll go, how are you? And you'll think to yourself, I don't really like you that much. I've got,
She's laughing.
I don't mean it in that sense, but as in, oh my goodness, you're not my cup of tea. I think I'll just take a back step. So you're very perceptive.
That's scary. Actually, that's
what's scarily true.
Yes, but I could tell. I mean, Debbie's a really loving, open character, and I admire that because I think I'm not as immediately open as that. So Debbie will just open up and let everyone in, and I think that's just such a beautiful thing. So
it's beautiful.
It is a good judge of character. I think I open up and let everybody in, and I'm not necessarily a very good judge of character.
I think that you are what I would say that you are a people pleaser, Natalie, that you don't like to see people sad. You will want to lift them up. You are a fixer in life. You like to fix folk. So if somebody's not quite right, you'll do something to cheer them up or oh, how are you? So you are perceptive in your own way and open in that sense. But I do feel that there's an underlying sensitivity with you and a little bit of an underlying sadness, but you override that and you just burst out and you try to be very positive around people.
That's lovely.
Isn't it? What do you think of me then, June? I know you hate me.
Oh, I can't even discuss this on camera. I think that what I admire about you, Debbie, is that You're a very open person. You say it as it is. You're quite reliable. If you say you're going to do something, you'll do it. And you've seen an awful lot of life. And you would know that if you asked, if I said to you, oh my God, does my bum look big in this? You wouldn't go, oh no, it's okay. You go, well, actually, yes. So, and I think that's what people admire about you, because you're a straight talker.
Yeah.
Or not, as
Sometimes
the case may be.
Yeah. But you open up and you just say it. And that's okay. You don't feel that you want to hide back and then get into your head, you know, should I say this, should I not, whatever. And it's all in honesty. That's not anything malicious. It's just that you're just open.
I agree with you with that totally. And it's lovely. I think Debbie's very unique and very, as a friend, very loyal, and she'll fight to the death for you, you know. Not many people will do that, June, will they?
No, people are all different, but that doesn't make one person bad and another person good. That just makes us all different characters, and life would be very boring if we were all the same. And we would all be fighting over the same person if everyone's character was the same. That's why we pick and choose. We're different, so we deal with people differently. Some friends that you might have, I'll be thinking, no, I don't want to go because they're not my cup of tea. That's not who I would be friendly with. You, Dee, I haven't discussed you because you.
No, I thought I might avoid that, but never mind.
Can't avoid it. Your energy is a pure energy, and you're a fixer as well. You're very sensitive natured. You do pick things up, but I think that people are under the misconception that they see this lovely, pretty blonde with the fabulous smile, and that could be a little bit ditzy and a little bit, you know, off the wall. Big mistake, because still waters run deep, and you're actually quite switched on in there, kiddo.
Thank you.
Don't agree.
I take that as a compliment.
It's a compliment. Of course, it's a compliment.
Thank
But
you,
you
June.
know what's interesting though is that Talia, my youngest daughter, is very much like me as well. She's a straight talker. What you see is what you get, and yet I see this in her, and I want to stop her because sometimes I think she's a bit too forthright, you know. And I think, oh, it's me. It's like looking in a mirror.
Yeah.
Well,
You know, boom. And I think that, you know, at times, especially when I was younger, even recently when I've got myself into trouble for saying the truth, you know, it's hard when you are a speaker of the truth, because people really find it uncomfortable.
some people might interpret it as if someone being malicious, but it's not about being malicious. It's about just opening up and saying what's in your head at the time, which is where the intent was not being malicious. It was just saying, and it's better, I think, to be open than to hold everything back and have to think in your head, should I say that, filter it out? Because then that's not natural either. I think there should be a bit of a middle ground with it.
Yeah, I can't never understand how people hold on to things and then don't come out with them for years.
Because they're afraid. Some of them are afraid of the repercussions or of how it might offend people. But then that's when you're trying to be someone else. People should accept you for yourself.
Yeah.
And your traits, all of them.
And what about you, Junie?
Can I talk about you, June?
Yeah. Can we talk about you, June?
Yes, you can. You go for it. Go for it.
So, June, when I met you, I was immediately sort of taken by you and your talent and your amazing gift. I mean, you have been voted #1 in the world, which is not to be sniffed at, you know.
No.
And also, you know, Uri Geller, as I always say on everything I talk about when I talk about you, he said you're the most accurate psychic, but also you're healing and you're so giving, because you never charge for your healing, and you give without, you know, without sort of wanting anything back. You give so purely and freely and amazingly.
You make me out to be a saint. I'm not a saint.
You're
I know she's not a saint. The thing I love about you the most, June, is the fact when you say, no, I don't want that. And you are so, don't do that. Don't do this. You know, if it's not right for you, you will not do it. You will not be moved. You are absolutely a stalwart in your your confidence about absolutely not. And I think that's the thing I admire the most. Go after something, do that, make this happen. Very, very positive. Also, you do take Debbie's makeovers very seriously as well. This is important. I mean, I would like to say that apart from Caddy, I am responsible for everybody's boobs on this show.
I'm glad you
It's true. It's absolutely true.
Yes,
Caddy,
and
I
a lot
just
of our features.
Yes, and Caddy, I just haven't looked at yours closely enough yet. But
Thanks,
it's all about bras, and it's all about because June and Natalie and Dee. Well, what's going on with you guys? Boobs down to
Around our
your
waist.
waist. Every time I see you, I was hoisting everybody up, and now they're all hoisted, aren't they? You feel much better, don't you, girls?
I do.
Feel better hoisted.
Deb.
Yes.
There's been a few
Much
other things
better.
Debbie's done, but yes, I do. It's definitely given me that little bit of confidence. Yes, for sure.
Just to carry on from what Debbie said about you, June, is that you do not take any prisoners, You don't suffer fools gladly. And if you don't like somebody, or if you feel they're, not if you don't like, it's not, you don't have that sort of venom in you, but you know if somebody isn't right for you as a friend.
I love
or
when
an
that
associate.
the cold look comes over her face. I can see
It's
it.
like,
And they go,
Oh, no.
well, thank you very much, girls. That's great. It's not often I get a reading.
well, and the next bit of this reading is, I'm afraid that we have to go because we have overrun our time as usual. It's been lovely talking to you,
Great.
Julie.
Thank you,
Lovely.
girls.
Can't
Superb.
wait to see you.
Seeing you soon.
See you soon. Bye,
Love
darling.
you.
Bye. Love you.
Oh, bless her. Isn't that lovely what she said about everyone, actually?
Oh,
It's very...
You
Did you
gave
feel
her a
Natalie?
reading. That was good.
No,
She deserved that.
Nat, do you feel that was right, what she said about you?
Yes, I absolutely do. My mum was, she was amazing because she would always she'd always find the good in everything. But I think she had a lot of sadness, and she would say something like, if it was pouring with rain, she'd say, oh, don't worry, it's washing tears away. Or she'd find a way of making positive. So, and I remember the day that we all went to the house when she had died, and we opened the door to the house, and we all came in from all over, all the family. And literally as we came in, the skies had been blue, and it was black clouds, and the rain just poured down. And I went, oh wow, talking about signs. That's my mum washing the tears away.
Oh, how lovely. I love that.
But she had, I think, regrets and sadnesses in her life that she wouldn't talk about. But June was absolutely spot on. And so as a child, you're picking up on that and trying to cheer that person up.
Yeah.
And it reflects how you become a person, doesn't it? I mean, she was
Of
so
course, it does. Yeah, absolutely. What about you, Caddy?
Yeah, and it was a bit scary. Because I mean, she's met me a couple of times on screen, and that's it. And then she clocked me straight away. So that was really quite frightening.
Oh, good.
She's wonderful. She is wonderful. She really is magnificent. Anyway, girls, we've had a reading today. We've had a wonderul day so far. So wishing everybody a wonderful next few days, and we'll be back very soon with some more.
Bye.